Now, if you've ever tried a Twix, you really have to supersize it up to this cake version because it's fantastic. G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. If you've ever tried a Twix, you know how delicious they are. It's a cookie covered with caramel, covered with chocolate. But what happens if you turn it into a cake? Make it bigger, make it even more delicious. So join me today as I make my version of a Twix cake. Now we're going to start this off by making our delicious cake. Now we want a nice firm cake, so I'm going to go for basically a pound cake type recipe. So into a mixing bowl, I'm going to place in 2 sticks, or about 120 grams worth of softened butter that I've let soften for about half an hour at room temperature. And to that, 1 cup of sugar. Okay, so we're going to mix it for a few minutes until the butter and sugar is combined and it has come up nice and light and fluffy. Okay, so as you can see, it is now nice and white and fluffy. So next I have 4 eggs at room temperature, 4 large eggs. So we're going to pour in 1 egg at a time, let it mix through completely, and once it's completely mixed through, we're going to add the 2nd egg, 3rd egg, and of course the 4th egg. The problem is if we do it all at once, it's going to form like a big clump. It's just going to ruin the cake and you're going to waste some ingredients. So just make sure they're completely mixed through. The 1st egg is completely mixed through now, so I'm going to add the 2nd egg, let it mix through and just continue on like that. And that way you get a perfect preparation. Okay, now that all that's mixed through, next I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Give a lovely vanilla taste there. And say about half a teaspoon of salt. And this will help improve and enhance those lovely flavors. And lastly, I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Now make sure you don't use self-raising flour, we're using all-purpose. And on a low speed, we're going to slowly mix it in like so. And as soon as it's just mixed in, we're going to stop beating. You don't want to over mix it. So I've already sifted this flour twice, by the way. So we're just going to add it in just slowly as it's mixing. On a low speed, of course. And once it's all added in, you can see how it's just mixed through. We're just simply going to stop it and we're done. You don't want to over mix these type of cakes. Okay, so I've just got a standard loaf cake pan. I've lined with some non-stick baking paper, parchment paper. I've also given it an extra grease on the inside. So just simply place our mixture into our pan. It's a bit sticky. And once in, we're just going to even it out. Now you'll note with the baking paper, I've also left some overhang, just so when it's cooled down, it's easier to pull out of the tin. Okay, so once done, we're going to place this into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 1 hour. And you know it's ready when you stick a skewer in the center, it comes out clean. And also once done, we're going to let it cool down for a good hour before we start on the next step. Okay, so our cake is completely cooled down. I've just got it in the fridge at the moment. Next, for the caramel part, we're going to use what we call Jersey caramels. Now, they may have a different name where you're from, but basically they're just these soft caramels, and as you can see, they're just very easy to squeeze like so. So, using these, we're just going to place them into the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, and just give it a stir until they're nice and liquidy. Okay, so as you can see, it is all nice and melted. So give it a stir if you have those white bits in the middle, just so it's more uniform. And with the cake remaining in the cake pan, because we only want to do the top, just simply pour our caramel mixture on top. Just spread it out just to cover the whole top. Now try and work a little bit faster because this will harden pretty fast. But it only takes a second, so it's not an issue. Okay, so once done, simply place it into the fridge for about a good half an hour to give it a chance to set. Now for the final ingredient, I'm going to use some milk chocolate chips. Now of course you can mix it up, you can use dark if you like, or even white. You can make it completely wacky, but I'm going to stick with the traditional milk chocolate chips, and we're going to place this into the microwave for 30 seconds at a time, give it a stir each time until it's completely melted and nice and runny. Okay, so I've taken our cake out of the fridge. Now it looks a bit thick here, it's not as thick as it looks. It's only because some of it ran down the side, as you can see. So with our melted chocolate, we're just going to pour it over the top and let it run down the sides. And there we have a very delicious, very caramelly, very chocolatey, and of course very cakey Twix cake. As you can see, it is incredibly simple to make. Tastes just like a normal Twix, but in cake form. So it really is a super easy but perfect cake to serve at any party or to get together. Now you can serve it with a side of cream or have it as is, but either way, this Twix cake is going to taste simply delish.